Welcome to an episode of Savagetimetv. I'm your host, AB Brisley, and today I have my special guest, STRBABY, with me today. How you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing.
It's feeling good? Not as hot, huh?
Man, not as hot, but it's all right.
Good old Atlanta, man. I'm getting used to this humidity out here.
Hot Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. For the people that don't know, where you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up on the east side of Atlanta. And I also spent half of my time in Gwinnett, so
okay.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds.
I see. You said you had been born in Louisville.
Yeah.
Do you go back there often? Were you like visiting back in the summers, or were you just out? You moved to Atlanta and never looked back really?
Mainly, mostly my family is from Louisville, Kentucky, so I definitely would visit home and visit my family from time to time, mainly summers, holidays, and stuff like that.
Okay, and what would you say what do you like about Atlanta? What do you like about Atlanta?
What I love about Atlanta, I love that we own our culture here. I love the Black excellence here. You know, the businesses that we have curated for ourselves, and just the unity amongst African Americans in this city alone. There's no other space like Atlanta, no other city. Atlanta is a utopia filled with just colorful creatives. That's what I like to say, and hustlers and go-getters, you know.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely, when I first used to visit out here, one thing that took me aback was like all like the black, just black motivation, like murals. Like I don't know where it's at. There's this huge mural of this black woman somewhere. Is it on Memorial Drive, or
it
might be? You can see it from the highway. Like it's huge.
I know what you're talking about.
And it's so much motivation out here. It's like, how can you just like sit on your ass out here in Atlanta as a black person?
As a black person, right?
Because it's like you have no excuse. It's like whatever you want, somebody's probably did it, or at least went in that avenue that you can pull from.
Right.
So I definitely understand where people come from Atlanta. Well, I laughed earlier because I don't know if people are going to hear on here, but there's some goats around the corner.
Some goats?
Yeah, so if you guys hear like a random, just like a little wail, maybe nobody's being tortured, there's goats around the corner. I wanted to say that because I don't know, because they be loud. I don't know what they're going to say anything.
So it's a farm over here
it's like
on
right
University.
It's some goats in the back. Like, after this, we can go look. Like it's like 6 of them back there.
It's some goats in Pittsburgh.
Big facts.
Okay.
The big question that everybody wants to know right now: are you vaccinated?
Am I vaccinated?
I'm not. I don't see myself getting it unless
I have taken a COVID test, so I'm COVID free. How about that?
Okay, so you're COVID free. Nah, it's just with this vaccination, like a lot of things are happening. Like some people can't go this way, can't go here. Like me, I want to go to Canada so bad, back up to Canada, but I can't because you gotta take the vaccine. And
really, that's what they're making you do.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like 10 years, 15 years from now. They're talking about, like, you know how they have the mesothelioma. Like if you've ever suffered from this, then this and this and this, and I don't want that to happen with this COVID. COVID with the vaccination shot.
It's tricky, you know, especially when they're not sure what's going on with this whole vaccine. So for me, you know, I'm just taking steps back to see what's all going on, you know, let everybody else test it out and see.
Come back and tell me about it.
Right, you know.
Okay, let's get right into it. What's your favorite music this year?
My favorite music this year? STRBABY music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than yourself, who else you be listening to?
Who else do I be listening to?
I see the Pink Floyd shirt. So I know you definitely be in different avenues.
All right.
For sure.
As of lately, it's crazy that this artist has still been relevant throughout these decades. Like Nas, he's got a dope album called King Disease.
That King Disease 2?
Yeah.
He got that one with Charlie Wilson on that.
Oh yeah.
That joint is fire.
Something love, or but it's
no phony love.
No phony love. I love it. I like that he can elevate, you know, and transition through time. I think you know, as a creative, it's always good to stay relevant or try to see how you can move within time. You know what I mean? It's like technology. You know what I'm saying?
He's I ain't gonna lie, bro. He's aged like wine, bro.
Yeah.
Like every time I see him, I'll be like, bro, he look the same.
That's that melanin.
He looked the same,
Yeah.
bro. Like the same, and it gives me such.
Yeah.
I look forward to. I see
Yeah.
niggas like Diddy out here
Yeah.
at 50, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, they
Yeah.
at 50
Yeah.
and just living.
Yeah,
like,
they are. And you know, the stigma is I need to have a lot of money to be healthy. No, you just got to have a lot of love for yourself. You know what I mean? And then you'll be able to actually see, you know, like how good it is to live clean. You
and
know,
then you'll be glowing.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, people
we
telling
already
you
glow
you're
as
glowing.
black people.
Oh yeah, already sun kissed naturally.
Yeah, sun
you know?
kiss naturally.
You know.
You know.
When did you first take interest in music and why?
Oh man, well, music came to me when I was about 6 or 7 years old in the form of a melody, and the melody just always stuck with me. But I got a little bit more serious in my latter years, like at the age of 18. I was able to curate an internship at this spot called Artist Factory, my twin brother and I. So we got internships, and that pretty much put me on the path of being an artist, songwriter, producer. My brother and I, we started off making noise together. Actually, he started producing. He actually still produces, and he's a dope producer. But I would do the admin work, I guess, quote unquote, manage him. And so with those contacts, I just kind of started like weaving through.
Yeah, you was kind of behind the shadows, like
Yeah.
working a little bit, like, you know, y'all don't see me, but I'm picking up stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
and people would always be like, man, you got a little cool little style, and you seem like you got artist style, you know, so that would just prompt me to like go further. And yeah, that's how music came to me.
Okay. And as you mentioned songwriting and production, was it always production? And did you always want to be behind the scenes when it came to art and just music in general?
Well, in general, well, my brother, I knew that I needed to help him get some music off, like sell his beats. So my main thing was like doing the admin, managerial type stuff. So behind the scenes, yeah. And I was a little shy, but the older I got and more comfortable I got with myself, I started to notice that, okay, I could definitely do this on my own, and my confidence just started growing in that regard. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I definitely see production as kind of like, I think of it like barbering or like tattooing.
I started out barbering.
Yeah, because it's like you can't, I always think of it from this. It's like I could never do it because I feel like I don't want to mess it up. I feel like if you mess it up, like barbering, it's so clear.
Oh, yeah.
If you mess up a tattoo, it's so clear. If somebody messes up with production, it's so obvious.
Absolutely.
It's like you can't really hide, you know what I mean? You have to like you said, build your confidence.
One off sound can throw it all off.
Yeah, it's like, yo, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, you ever seen those videos of people like snapping on producers and engineers? I'm like, bro, this looks uncomfortable.
It is.
I'm like, why is he yelling at him?
Oh, right.
Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Everybody's been talking about Donda or Certified Lover Boy. Which one would you say you have like or are leaning more towards if you've listened to them?
To be honest, I've not listened to much of Donda. I think I've probably listened maybe one song or
you gotta go ahead and do
one
that.
or two songs.
You gotta go ahead
and not even all the way through. It's not because I'm uninterested. My time in listening is just like it's always taken away. And then the Lover Boy, I love me some Drake, so I mean, I found time for that. Like, I think.
We see the things we find important. We make time for. You make time for it.
No pun intended for Kanye. I love you so easy. But Drake, he got a couple cuts on that Lover Boy, and I still haven't listened to the whole album. But one is, of course, everybody likes Too Sexy. That's cool.
They're gonna play that out.
They're gonna play that out
for the next 3 months.
Then he's got one. Is it called Pop That Shit? It's the one with. It's like a
Pop That Shit. Pop that shit. Yeah. I forgot what it's called. Wait, I'm trying to think.
It's the UGK sample. outside of the club.
Is it In Too Deep? In Too Deep. There we go. In Too Deep. Because I like Future's verse on
Why
that.
didn't we just have a fan moment?
Exactly. We listen to the music.
Yeah,
I'm having you listening to the music. Like I was like, I know what she's talking about.
In Too Deep, my joint. Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, really, that's my favorite one from Drake.
Okay, so In Too Deep. All right. So you're definitely going with the CLB.
Yeah.
As a producer, as a songwriter, who would you like to work with on a collab on like if it was like a 3-pack? And I'm gonna give you the decisions of Drake or Kanye.
A 3-pack?
You guys are gonna create 3 songs together. I'm just gonna go in the studio and cook. Who would you want to have that session with if you could choose between Drake or Kanye West?
Woo! Ha! That's smoking. Let me see. I would choose Drake because I could be the producer and he could be the artist.
Oh, Kanye's gonna be like, scratch everything. He's like, I don't want none of my stuff stepped on. I feel you. Kanye's definitely gonna step on whatever you put out there.
I was trying to make a little room for me.
I can understand that. Good answer. What's your pick for album of the year so far?
Album of the year. It's probably King Disease.
You know what? Before I heard Donda, it definitely had my. Because King Disease too, that it slept on. It's not even. I don't even think it's slept on.
It slept on.
It slept on. You know what I mean? Because it's really good.
But it's so good. The first one was great. The second one was just great. Like with the cut with Lauryn Hill. Mm-hmm. Love it. But right now, I've just been so focused on my personal project. I try not to get distracted by listening to other premieres. I listen. I'm kind of late to the party. Like when everybody gets done with that trend or whatever is popular,
then you gonna go back.
Then I'll go back and I'll study and listen and see what I've missed. You know, if anything.
You don't want to be influenced. I know. I can definitely understand that. So your track Vibes. Is that you on the vocals or is it?
Yeah.
So it's all you doing the production too?
Yep. So
okay. So tell me about that project.
That's my single Vibes, and I produced that record along with my bros The Breed, and they're from the East Coast and they're really dope. They've done some stuff for Chris Brown and a few others to name, but they're dope. We collabed on that record Vibes, and it was like an impromptu session as well. That day we got in for about 2 hours. It took like maybe 15 minutes to make the beat. That's and great. The rest I just recorded everything. So
wow. Yeah. I've always thought that's so interesting with people that have music makers that 15 minutes 20 minutes to make a beat. It's like that's wild to me. I feel like it would take so long for me, but something I noticed it said STRBABY Records. So I wanted to ask you, what's that about? Do you also have like your own label? Like did you put it out through your own?
Yep, I put it out through my own label, STRBABY Records.
Congrats on that, man. Congrats. I like to see that, the business side.
Yeah. So I mean, just pretty much stepping it up in my own arena, you know, put myself out there, and if there are any artists that need a platform and a hub to get some exposure, why not? You know, why not sign to STRBABY Records?
Real talk, real talk. I like that. I really like that you want complete control of what you're doing.
Right.
How do you feel about producers' place in hip hop right now? Or just music business? A
producer's place in music business? Mm-hmm. The best.
Do you guys feel like you guys are getting all the credit that you guys deserve at this point?
Absolutely. You know, the producer automatically they deem as like a 50% shareholder or sometimes 100%, you know. So a producer, you know, they curate mainly everything and they do a lot of the hands-on work and some of the busy work, you know. So as far as producer, I crossed over from songwriter to producer so that way I could get the right credit and get my just due, my respect, you know, because I started to notice that they respect producers way more than they respect songwriters.
That's wild.
That's wild, right?
They write the song.
They write the song, and you know, it's 100% share on the writer side and on the producer side. So we're all composers, so that's why they do it like a pizza. You split it down the middle, 50-50. But they still, for some reason, they treat the writers like They don't have any say. You know, the writers are the first to curate a song, and possibly the last to get paid, if ever. So, you know.
Yeah, that's wild. And I asked you that because it seems like over maybe the last 5 to 6 years, producers have gotten like a spike when it comes to like visibility, vulnerability, and they're getting their just due. Like now, people want to know, yo, who's the producer?
Yeah, the writer still seems to be more so in the background, and the producer has evolved, you know, from it being a tag to now the tag has been seen in commercials, and now their faces come from back to the front of the camera, right? So I wish that same courtesy and respect would be would flow over into the songwriters world, because songwriters, they deserve their respect, you know, and representation is key, you know, especially today, you know. But it's a tricky thing because, you know, you've got ghost writers and you got artists out there that don't want to shed the light on the writer who's been writing their stuff, right? So it's kind of crazy, but I believe that we will prevail.
Yeah, you know, I think people from behind the scenes, like songwriters, they're gonna have their just due. From going from songwriting to production, when was that moment, if you could describe it, when you realized that I can do production and this is for me?
That moment was, well, I was out in LA and I had a session with a friend, and pretty much they had a MPC in front of me, my friend KO, and he had all these sounds and he made it look so easy, and I got that all wrong. Actually, KO came to my house and we collabed.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I know this is something that I wanted to do because it was just so easy. I felt a peace about production where I didn't have to like overthink about a top line. I was the top line through like a 808 or a hi-hat. That was my subject line. So it was easier in that regard. And then maybe years prior, probably like 3 years prior to that, I was in LA and I was just playing my hand, because a lot of times I would be in sessions and I would write the song, engineer myself, mix it, and the issue would be that I couldn't get a copy of my music. So I said, you know what, I'll just learn the game and I'll produce for myself, and then I can be 100% shareholder, right? And then you think about all the percent.
All the checks.
Yeah, get all the
checks, not sharing none of it.
Yeah.
I like that. I remember, when we think about it, I just went in my mind, Juice WRLD has a, shout out to Juice WRLD, rest in peace, but he has a song where he talks about, he's like, I made sure I can do everything. So basically when he gets his checks, there's no sharing. It's 100% me.
And it's not that I don't want to share, because everybody, you know, like, if you're great at what you're great at, then rightfully so. I want you to be great at that and deliver, right? But if I know these hands can work just as well as yours, I'm definitely gonna see it through, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that.
Majority, lion's share.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should. What has been the biggest hurdle you've had to overcome in your journey as a artist?
As an artist, the biggest hurdle has been just pretty much being consistent with self, you know, even when people fail you, getting yourself back up to where you need to be and staying consistent with yourself. So the consistency for me, just driving that car through the finish line, that's just been not my biggest hurdle, but that's just been a challenge as far as like, how do you, as an independent artist, what inspiration do you draw from to stay consistent with yourself and motivated?
Giving the same energy every day.
Yeah, giving the same energy every day, right? Because this industry, it fluctuates. So I say just, you know, those self-talks and, you know, seeing it all the way through, it's been challenging, because things, they differ. Things are always switching up, you know.
Especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
Right.
Let's talk about mental health. Can you give me your definition of mental health and how you keep your mental health on the up and up?
Mental health. My definition of mental health is similar to self-love. I feel like mental health is like body health, you know what I mean? Like, what I've just learned is that my gut is my second brain.
Okay.
You know, so what I put in here is like a reflection of what's out here. And I think first, you know, like they have three things: mind, body, and soul. So my thing is, you know, getting my mind right, and then getting to my body, and then my completion will be my soul, because I'll feel good about myself. So I think mental health for me, it's just self-care, you know, making sure that you have those private conversations to yourself, tell yourself that you're great, you know, in the manner of how someone else would, you know. If you can't love yourself, then how can you love someone else? So I think like just taking moments to remind yourself, looking in the mirror, telling yourself like, we can get through this, we can, because it is us, you know, because it's the inner and it's the outer. So for just separating yourself from yourself, and you know, comforting yourself in times like, especially times like today, you know. But I say it's very important as an artist and as a Black artist, being as a human, but in these times, you know, when you have so much things against you, like it's
gotta keep your mental right.
Keep your mental healthy. You know, you gotta know that we're the first and the last. So at the end of the day, if this is not right, then this can't be right, then this can't be right. So those are three things to me. So just aligning myself up with myself and telling myself that I'm great. That's a thing that I pride myself in doing every day.
Okay, all right. And what are your goals professionally, personally, for the next 3 to 5 years? Where are you yourself?
I see myself maxing out more on my fitness and health journey. Mm-hmm. My goal is to become Hollywood's go-to as far as director and script writer, along with score, curator. You know, I've done a lot in the music, on the music aspect, and I'm still going. However, I'm just excited to see where TV and film, how far it'll go. You know?
Yeah, got to. That's the big thing right now. Some film. We're definitely gonna have to talk about that. Work on some things. Definitely, for sure. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
If you had a message to the youth about following their dreams, because the youth are so important.
Yeah.
What would you say?
If you have a dream, hold on to that vision and write it down. If you don't write it down, sometimes it'll get lost and it'll just disappear. But not to be so blunt, I say
be as blunt as you can. That's what all Savagetimetv is about.
Right. If you have a dream, go through it, you know, dream out loud and dream out in reality. You manifest that dream, speak that out into existence, and keep telling yourself, I'm going to see myself through, I'm going to meet myself there. I always tend to live in the future, so in my head it's already there. I meet myself there, it's already done, you know, because if it was a thought, then it can form into some kind of manifestation, you know. Everybody on this earth came through the form of a thought, so think about that.
Yeah. So, wow, it gets real wild when you start to think about it, go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But wrapping up, where can all your new fans follow you at, find you, listen to your music?
You can find me on social media, Instagram at STRBABY Jackson, STRBABY Jackson, and also Facebook. I want to say it's STRBABY. But I mean, most of my communication, and like if you want to hit me up, you know, slide in my DMs, you can hit me on my Instagram, and we get it cracking. I'll be responding.
Okay, well, this was a great interview. Again, thank you for coming to the platform.
Thank you for having me.
This was dope.
Yeah.
And again, this is STRBABY Jackson. I'm your host, AB Brisley. It's an episode of Savagetimetv.
Yeah.
Know to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to always look out for us. We're always coming out with new content. Check out the new podcast, Blunt Talks, all that great stuff. We'll be back again soon. Just another episode. See you guys.
Thank you.